In today's video, we're going to check out Trae Young and what makes him such a prolific scorer in the NBA. He is one of the best guards in the NBA, one of the top shooters. So let's get down and let's check out Trae Young. Really quickly, make sure to go check out my hardest basketball shooting workout down in the description below. Okay, so one of the things that makes Trae Young so good is his ability to pass the ball. Being able to pass the ball when you've got a double team on you, being able to find the open man is going to really help open up the floor to you, because if, for example, this secondary defender doesn't come to double team Trae Young, he is then in single coverage and he can go to work on his man. He's a very good ISO scorer, so by being able to pass the ball opens up the floor eventually for him. Also, being able to understand how to read screens, how to use screens, and how to attack the basket is extremely important too. So if we rewind, first, he gets that screen. His man is going over top of the screen, which means that he needs to cut in quickly. To get to the rim quick is to limit your dribbles. So here, he actually only takes one dribble inside, and that was right there, inside the three-point line. When he does that, he keeps the ball low with outstretched arms. He doesn't keep it at his waist. He's keeping it really low. He's got a lower frame than that help defender, which means that if he can keep his arms straight out down low, it's going to show to the referee that he's in control. And if there's this arm coming in to hack him, in that case, it would be out of reach. And watch his steps. Watch how long his steps are, for one. Really long steps, but also he's taking off from the middle of the key. So many players think that they have to take off from here to do a layup, but that's false. Here he's going in for a floater over top of the big help defender. And then in this case, he's attacking the basket and he's keeping his body in control. You can do this by having a strong core, strong hips. That's also going to help with a strong back as well, and being able to keep that ball and also move that ball around the defenders, in this case to get a layup, is beneficial. And now this is why being a good passer is beneficial. Earlier on in this game, even though this is only the first quarter, but it's near the end of the first quarter, but earlier on in the game, they were throwing multiple defenders at Trae Young. Now they're only doing single coverage so that when he attacks the basket, he's able to go up for these floaters and make that shot. Before, he wouldn't have been able to do that because there would have been multiple other players looking to try to stop his drive. But in this case, he does get bumped, but he still makes the shot. Here he attacks the middle of the key. He gets multiple defenders, but that little jump shot right there is very important, and we can all learn from it. So he's attacking the basket, and watch what he does. He gathers on his right, he gathers on his left. That's his last dribble on his right. Gathers on his left, and then when he pulls up for that shot, what does he do right there? He lifts his right foot. What does that do? Well, that little shot kick, that little kick right there with his right foot, is to get his right side in line with the basket. See, even though he's got a low set point in front of his face, he still releases nice and high, but he still needs that leg kick to get his shoulder and elbow in line, because that's how you can shoot a straight shot. No matter who you are, 99% of the best shooters, including Trae Young, get their elbow in line with their shoulder and the rim. It's not both shoulders, it's one shoulder. That's the misconception with older shooting coaches, is they'll say that you have to be square with the basket. You only have to have your shoulder and elbow in line. That's what matters. And also having the ball over top of that creates the shooting triangle. Of course, I've mentioned that in other videos, but that's why his shot is so straight. Now here he does a high gather over top of the defender's arm. You have to be able to read where defenders reaching in or where defenders are reaching in, and here he does a high gather arm straight to show the referee, hey, if I'm getting contact or not. You do not want that ball at your waist, and by keeping that ball high and taking off from the middle of the key, it's very hard to block. And obviously we got to talk about his shooting. Here he does a quick big step towards this right side, and then he snatches back behind his back, and then he balances on that right foot. That's so important to a snatchback. See, when you're a right-handed shooter, going towards your left side will allow you to get your right arm in line with the basket. We can see that right there. However, if you're going towards that right side and you do a snatchback, you want to be balanced. You don't just want to plant both feet and go up for a shot. While you can, and there's many good shooters who do that, I'm going to tell you right now, if you can keep that hand on top of the ball and don't gather until you get onto your right foot, and then you can push back left, right. Remember, you're allowed 2 steps, and so if you push back, that's your gather, 1, 2, then you're allowed to take that shot, and it's not a travel. And for those who say that the gather is something that is new, it's not. We've always had it, even when I was growing up in the 90s learning basketball, because guess what? When we do a layup, we have the left foot, right? We gather on the left foot. Right foot, left foot, that's 1, that's 2. And then you go for your layup, your right hand layup. Well, if you gather the ball, let's say before your left foot hits the ground, and if both feet are off the ground, technically this to this is your gather. That's your first step. This is your second. There you go. Also, being patient, using your body to get players onto their heels is really going to expand your game. So here, Trae Young is attacking the basket, gets his shoulder into the chest of his defender. That gets that defender onto their heels. We just seen that right there. Gets him onto his heels, and then he goes for the shot fake. This guy's momentum is taking him this way because he was hit in the chest. And then Trae Young goes up for that layup wide open. And this is what I mean by being a good passer can open up the floor. Here, he had that screen. He gathered a massive, massive hedge. And anytime that a massive hedge comes, you need to attack that hedge to be able to keep him with you. Because look who is wide open. Your teammate. Here, he's able to go in for the layup. He could have also kicked that ball out to the corner for a 3 because this guy was facing this way. So even though he could have gotten an assist instead of Trae Young getting the assist, doesn't matter. Either way, they got the basket. But if it wasn't for Trae Young being patient and attacking that hedge, he would have never got that assist. Make sure to go check out my hardest basketball shooting workout down in the description below. I hope that this video has helped you. If it has, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.